This is Top Accolade African News Updates. I am Soybifa Jackridge. Authorities in Zimbabwe are continuing the search for an Australian tourist who was reported missing last Friday. The authorities earlier said that the 67-year-old man, whose identity has not been disclosed, went missing on Friday in the rainforest inside the Victoria Falls National Park. A search to find him was launched the same day, with park rangers, police officers, and ground trackers deployed to find him. Aided by drones and sniffer dogs, the tourist had been staying at a lodge near the park and had told the lodge management he was going to visit the park before he went missing. In new details released on Monday, the authorities said the tourist had disappeared on 17th February and did not appear to have entered the forest. We have replayed the CCTV footage. Physical records at the entrance of the falls have no record of him entering, and our search team has been checking the rainforest. There is no sign of him. Zimbabwe National Parks and Wildlife Management Authority spokesman Tinashe Farawo told the AP news agency, "We are looking at other leads because it seems he never entered the rainforest." The Nigerian Customs Service (NCS) has confirmed Friday's stampede at its rice selling point in Yaba, Lagos, which led to fatality and injuries. The agency was selling subsidized rice to ordinary Nigerians amid skyrocketing food prices across the country. Last week, the NCS had said it would distribute seized food items in its stores to tackle the current challenges of food security. The exercise began on Friday. Rice that had been seized as a result of an import ban was being sold at 10,000 naira, that is $6 or €5, for a 25 kg bag, and a large crowd turned up. Such a bag normally cost about 40,000 naira, but things got out of hand after the organizers told the crowd to return the following day. They had run out of stock. Unforeseen challenges arose when we ran out of stock and announced the continuation of the exercise the following day, leading to a regrettable outcome, NCS said in a statement. It said the desperate crowd charged through the barricades in search of rice bags and the emptied containers. In the stampede that ensued, some fatalities and injured were regrettably recorded. Meanwhile, families have been mourning those who died at the stampede. Senegal's President Macky Sall has proposed an amnesty for those convicted in connection with political protests in the past 3 years. He said this would make it possible to pacify the political arena and further strengthen our national cohesion. He was speaking at talks which have been largely boycotted by the opposition and civic groups. The president has been widely criticized for postponing elections, which were due to take place on Sunday, without setting a new date. The Constitutional Court has ruled that the vote should be held as soon as possible. Suggested amnesty bill, which Mr. Sall says will be put to Parliament on Wednesday, has already been condemned by his opponent. They say the aim is to ensure that members of the security forces, the President Sall himself, cannot be prosecuted for the death of protesters. Benin has offered to contribute 2,000 troops to a UN-approved Kenyan-led multinational security force that will be deployed to fight gang violence in Haiti. The announcement was made on Monday during a press briefing held in Georgetown, Guyana, by the United States Ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas-Greenfield. Ms. Thomas-Greenfield said she had discussed the Haiti's Prime Minister Ariel Henry and other partners about the urgency of deploying the force. This mission is key to helping the Haitian National Police restore peace and security, enabling free and fair election, and elevating the humanitarian crisis, Ms. Thomas-Greenfield said. The deployment was to happen this month, but it was delayed after it was blocked by a Kenyan court in January. The court argued that the government lacked authority to send police officers outside Kenya, but shortly after the ruling, Kenya's President William Ruto assured that Kenya would still send the police officers after the completing paperwork to satisfy the court's demands. Gang violence has dramatically worsened in the Caribbean country. According to a UN report published last month, Haitian gangs killed 8,400 people last year, an increase of 122% from 2022. That is the size of Top Accolade African News Updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Tuesday.